This is MMA Oddsmaker. Okay, bonus time on today's Oddsbreaker segment. It's a huge fight. Jon Jones versus Dan Henderson for the light heavyweight title. We're going to start off with Larry first. When this fight does take place several months down the road, it is going to be Jon Jones opening up as a steep favorite, minus 545. The comeback on Dan Henderson is going to be plus 375. So Larry, are you going to lay the juice, minus 545, or are you going to take the underdog in Dan Henderson?
I'm going to lay the juice and run because I think the number is going to go up significantly. Listen, I want to give Dan his respect. I think he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of MMA. Unfortunately, I think he's going to go on the Mount Rushmore of Jon Jones victims. He's going to give up 20 pounds and get this, 13.5 inches in reach and 5 inches in height. I think the main thing I learned from the Rashad Evans fight, and I felt going into that fight, said it, and I still believe it, that if Rashad Evans did not beat Jon Jones, there isn't anybody at 205 pounds that will challenge Jon. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think what I learned in that fight is that unfortunately for Dan, Jon has a chin. He took 2 huge overhand rights from Rashad, the same ones that knocked out Chuck Liddell, took a kick to the head, and really didn't even look staggered. That's bad news for Dan. The other bad news for Dan is the main thing I learned for him in his fights with Jake Shields and Shogun Rua is that 5 rounds is not kind to him. So I believe that Jon will finish this fight in the first 2 rounds, but the longer it goes, the worse it gets. I like Jon Jones by a mile in this fight, and I'm not afraid of the number.
Okay, great comments there from Larry, and let's see if Brett agrees or disagrees. Hendo's pretty enticing at plus 375.
I 100% agree with everything Larry said, and again, just like Larry, I have a hard time saying that Dan Henderson does not have a chance. It just is something that I never thought I'd say, that Dan Henderson doesn't have a chance in a fight. But this is basically a guy who's kind of best suited as a middleweight or a light heavyweight fighting a guy who could easily be competing at heavyweight in Jon Jones. And the fact is that the only way to combat with that is speed. If you're giving up size, you have to be faster than your opponent. And in this situation, Dan is not as fast as Jon Jones. The only shot I give him really is that overhand right, but like we've seen in the Rashad fight, Jones can take a punch. You could not pay me to bet money against Jon Jones right now, at least in the 205-pound division. None of these guys are big enough to handle him. He's got every physical advantage in every single one of these fights, and he's working hard. He is improving between every fight. Like Larry said, if this fight goes the distance, it's even more of an advantage to Jon Jones, so I will lay any kind of money that you throw out there. I'm going to take Jon Jones no matter what the line is.
Okay, so Brett takes Jon Jones as well, so both of our experts are saying it's going to be a long night for Dan Henderson. We'll see where the public takes this line. I know Hendo does get a lot of respect, but like you guys said, we could see this line keep increasing and go up to 6, 7 to 1 possibly, so we'll see how it ends up.
Well, that's it for another episode of MMA Oddsbreakers. You can look for the odds that Nick broke right here on the show to start popping up at the sport books throughout the week. And I want to send a big special thanks to our 2 guests, Brett Okamoto and Larry Pepe. Great information, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Terrific show. And for all the latest updates on the MMA Oddsbreaker show, make sure you check us out on Twitter at MMA Oddsbreaker. For Miguel Arati, I'm Nick Kalikas saying until next time, enjoy the fights.